Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Chaos Head Noah. The last episode was a long one. It was a very long previous episode. The last few episodes have been pretty long in general, but I was determined to get to the end of the common route, which was Silent Sky, the Silent Sky ending. We did it. I was completely drained afterwards, mentally especially, because there was a lot that happened that I cannot properly summarize. There was so much crap that was going down, so many delusions. I feel like there was a delusion within a delusion at one point. It got weird, but it's to be expected. I mean, that's the name of the game here. But nonetheless, we got to the ending, and I'm still kind of unsure what to think. I think it was... I actually don't even know if I commented too much about the ending, to be totally honest. I was kind of just commenting about the journey and just bits and pieces, but no, I mean, it was good. It definitely left a impression with me, and now we've got some work to do. We've got some other endings to go and find, but no, it was good. Just very confusing how it all came to what it came to be, and we didn't really see too much of Norase from the get-go, but he was the mastermind behind everything, so he did his job well of not really being in the spotlight, and he eventually came out to be the big bad wolf that we had to fight there at the end. Nonetheless, it was something all right, and it makes me wonder, what the hell did the anime do to try and replicate all that? You know, I know they went in different directions, and I am just way too scared to even go there to check out their interpretation of everything, so I won't, or at least right now I won't. I don't want to give myself a headache. So now we have, again, some work ahead of us in trying to find all these other routes, because there are quite a few. There's quite a few things that we need to do. And if you guys did not know, I am using the Committee of Zero overhaul patch, as they call it. And with that comes along their guide. And this was very similar to how I did this in the Chaos Child playthrough. I basically just followed their guide right to the T, or at least pretty damn close. And I think that worked out pretty well. I don't think we ran into any issues whenever I did that. But then again, there were only 5 other routes to explore. A very quick and easy to grab bad route that stems off of the common route somewhere in the middle. And then I think there were 4 endings, and then the true one. This one's a little different, so let us read what the guide says here. There is a section here for the Silent Sky, which they are going to call Ending A. This is the game's common route. It is required in order to access the rest of the game. Choose any delusions you wish. There is one bad ending in this route, triggered by making too many mistakes on a certain set of choices. It is recommended to try and solve it yourself first, but the answers, they're here in this guide. And we were able to do it. I kind of just overthought one of the questions, and yeah, we fell off the O-front building. I remember that. Once you reach this ending, certain delusions will now appear with yes/no prompts on your next playthrough. As a general rule, in order to reach a character route, you must enter a specific delusion for each character and answer its subsequent prompts correctly. I don't know how that's going to play out, but we'll probably see here very shortly. There is a section on routes. The recommended route order is the common route, which is Ending A. That's what they're calling Ending A, the Silent Sky ending that we just got in the previous episode, and then B. Ending B, I believe, is an alternative that we could get. And then we go through the character routes of Nanami, Yua, Ayase, Kazoe, Senna, and then Rimi. Then we get the true ending, or what they're calling Ending AA. If you guys have any opinions on whether I should do one character route before the other, or if you think that would provide a little bit more insight, or it'd be okay to switch it up, then why not? In Chaos Child, I'm not going to say names, but there was one character that was suggested to go last out of all the others, but after going through all of them, I don't think it really matters, but that one was the best one, in my opinion, so I guess it's okay to save the best for last. But now we will jump into it. So Crying Sky ending B, that's what we're trying to shoot for. It says, this route is the sole exception to the rule mentioned before. Rather than simply selecting a certain delusion and answering the prompts correctly, it requires a number of specific delusions to be viewed. So we're going to start a new game and view at least 10 of the following 18 delusions, and we will skip any route question prompts that we will encounter along the way by giving only yes answers. And then we avoid that bad ending over in Chapter 6. So we have to go through the entire game again. That prompts a potential issue, and I talked about it in the ending of the last episode. We might not be able to skip. We're going to find out here very shortly. I'm pushing it off as much as I can because I'm really worried. We might not be able to skip, at least here for the beginning of the game, up to the point where I was, I think, Chapter 6 or Chapter 5, one of those two chapters, because that's when I installed the patch. So we now have new lines of text. That's problematic because there's also new bits of dialogue. I don't know what's going to happen here, but yeah, I guess we'll start a new game. Let's see if we can skip. If we can't, there's going to be a potential for missing stuff. It is what it is. I don't know how to skip. Is there a keybind for how to skip? Let us see. There's an auto mode on F3. Oh, there's a quick save. Config. There's another auto mode button. You can change the resolution. That would suck if I accidentally press that. There's a force skip. I don't know if we want to do that, but that is there. And then we can scroll to skip. Is there not just a regular skip? Oh, wait, yeah, there is. There is. It's the letter E. And it's not... Oh, nope, it is working. Or it was working. Oh, nope. Oh, okay, so what it's doing is it's stopping whenever it moves to a different scene. Okay, now... We good? Nope, we're still going. Another concern is that it might skip through everything. Maybe. So I don't know. See, we're getting tips. That's kind of problematic in a way because we shouldn't be getting tips. Okay, it looks like it stopped here. Why did it stop? How do I get it off of the... okay, there we go. Yeah, we're getting tips for some reason. Yeah, we shouldn't be getting tips unless that's just kind of popping up as it did in the beginning. I have no way of making sure that we're okay. No, we are getting tips. Why are we getting tips? We shouldn't be getting tips. Okay, cool. I guess now we're just getting tips. Oh, man, I don't know. I don't know how I feel. It's going to be hard to really know where we're at and everything because the dialogue is going to be different. It's, we're going to miss some stuff, I'm sure. And for that, I'm sorry. It is what it is. You can blame me or you can blame the fact that, I don't know, you can blame whatever. I don't care what you blame. But we need to go to a delusion here in Chapter 1 that starts with, I felt bad. I think the first delusion was in the classroom. Is there really not... I guess there really isn't anything that just lets you skip. We don't want to force skip. We'll just do a regular skip. Oh, okay. We got to make choices here. Shit. What choices did I make in the beginning? Swimsuit. So school swimsuit plus glasses equals perfection. I don't remember what I chose. Ah, man, I don't know what I chose. I guess I'll say yes. Oh, wait, hold on. Is this for, like, the color of the swimsuit? I don't remember what I chose. It's not a real swimsuit unless there's a name tag on the chest. I'll just say yeah, sure, whatever. A white school swimsuit, navy blue or nothing? I'm just gonna say yes to everything here. and we'll just let this go on. I guess there are times, though, where yeah, there's some texts here that I can't, yeah, that's not letting me skip. So that might be inclusions. So maybe it is skipping correctly. Oh yeah, I don't ever remember Shogun speaking in fucking German. But no, I think what the situation here is, they included extra lines, and so any of the lines that we actually did read and they just reworded, those will get skipped because we technically have seen them. But any of the lines that they are adding in, that's a little bit of a different story. That's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna yeah, wait. I don't ever remember, did Shogun ever talk to us? I don't ever remember Shogun talking to us. This is honestly, it's interesting now, because now we know who everybody is. We know that Grim was the nurse. We know that Shogun is us. It is kind of interesting to just kind of look back in a way. So, I don't know. I don't remember any of this. Where are you chatting from? Shibuya? Okay, we'll just keep on going forward. Shogun is suspicious. Paranoid delusions. That is true. He did put that equation. I saw that shit. Okay, I don't remember the cafe. Was the cafe like right after? Hold on, let's turn off the skip. Despite it being the weekend, the sounds of someone tapping away at a keyboard echoed. Okay, have we... Sitting inside room 37 was a boy facing a computer monitor. The boy remained still and unmoving, and instead of sitting in the provided recliner, he sat in a wheelchair. Yeah, I don't remember this. This isn't right. What the fuck? What the hell? Is this new? Yeah, Shogun. It says there at the top. Shogun. Yeah, this is new. This is straight up new shit. The boy finally stirred, ending his period of motionlessness. Yeah, look at all this. So Grim, the nurse, actually gave Shogun, us, the original us, the images before they happened. What the fuck? Wait, no. No. This is actually, okay, no. This is actually what's happening right now. This is just Shogun's perspective. Okay, I'm sorry. His eyes hiding beneath his cap pierced through the screen. A nearly inaudible whisper left his lips. Picture one of the victim's corpses. Okay, that was just the image, the drawing or whatever. Yeah, so we have seen that. This is just the other side of that. Once he was sure the user known as Grim had exited the chat room, the boy began to take action, draping his wrinkled hands upon the keyboard. His mission was to get into contact with Nightheart, to warn him and to strike fear into his heart. Oh, this is cool. A distorted expression weakly crawled onto the boy's face. In that moment, his expression may have appeared pain to an outside observer, but in reality, it was quite the opposite. The boy was smiling. Well, I'm curious about something here. How did he get the images? Was he able to actually kind of have a future vision of some sort? He had contacted Nightheart, and Nightheart had responded. A casual conversation to most, but a miracle to him. And now I'm kind of understanding where the confusion may have come in with Yua. There's that German. I don't remember him ever, like, using German for whatever reason. Okay. His hand suddenly froze. An enigmatic whisper, spoken as though it were directed toward Nightheart on the other side of the monitor. Returning to silence, he began typing once more, this time writing out a single mathematical formula. Yep, there it is. IR2, the equation. See, I actually didn't remember that this was brought up in the very beginning. It has been so long. And we're just fucking pasting all of these. We just have the text file off to the side. We're just copying and pasting. Beautiful. Keep going. God damn, there's so many. There are just so many. Keep going. I don't remember how many there were supposed to be. Are they like all different perspectives or like... I don't know. We only look at one. Nightheart failed to reply. From this, the boy deduced that Nightheart must have clicked one of the links he had pasted again and again into the chat window. It could have been the same picture, just, you know, uploaded so many times. It might have been strenuous for Nightheart, but it was something that he had to show him at all costs.
怖いかい。でもだからこそ、君は目覚めることができるんだ。
Speaking those words to himself, he sent his final message. Yep, there it is. Whose eyes are those eyes? Without waiting for a response from Nightheart, he logged out of the chat room. A small sigh came from beyond the wall, followed by a light knocking sound. Signs that the occupant from the room beside him had stood up from their seat, and before long, the door to his cubicle, room 37, was opened. Yua. The girl didn't smile, her expression remained grim as she took hold of the handles of his wheelchair. Never mind. This is, that is not Yua, that is Rimi. His answer to the girl's question, which had been asked rather abruptly, was brief and concise. Still, being well attuned to the boy, the girl was able to sense a hint of tension in his tone.
何かあったの？西条匠に接触してきたのは僕だけじゃなかった。おそらく監視がついている。そっか。
She didn't speak another word. She simply pushed his wheelchair toward the front of the cafe in silence. That is true, yeah. That is a fair assessment to make there. That he was approached already. Okay, now this is something we've seen before, but actually we didn't see the redone chart here before. We saw just like the text kind of subtitled over as if it was like done for the subtitles in an anime or something. But no, they actually redid this entire graphic. And I said this before, I didn't really mind the other way, but obviously this is less busy. And we should be able to skip here. Again, just minus all the extra bits that are included, I think. I think that is the only deal. I don't know what's being talked about here. But I also don't care. We should be coming up on our first delusion. Wait. What did he... Oh, okay. He was saying the whose eyes are those eyes, maybe? He said something. Okay. So we don't need to skip anymore. We're good. Yeah, okay. So it turned off the skipping as soon as we got here. What did it tell me to do here? I think we're going to be going neutral. Yeah, we're going neutral all the way through in Chapter 1. And that kind of sucks because I never did any of the positive or negative ones here. In this delusion, at least. We kind of just went forward. So we'll just go forward. And there it is. What the fuck? Why is there a yes and an... Oh, that's right. Okay, so those are the prompts that are going to pop up here. Oh, wait, I need to turn off the skip, just in case. But at least it stops. At least it stops there. It's just a coincidence. So it did say here, just to reiterate, we start a new game, view at least 10 of the following 18 delusions. We're not viewing the Chapter 1 delusions, it seems. Unless it wants me to. Well, shoot. Let me count here. There's 2 that they want me to view in Chapter 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 4, so that's 5, 2 and 5, which is 7, 1 and 6, which is 8, and then 2 and 7, which will get us to 10. Okay, well, I'll just go by their I'll just go by whatever the guide says, honestly. It's whatever. Okay. So it's just a coincidence. And we're just going to say yes to all answers. I'm making it up. It's all in my head. This is interesting. This is weird. I don't remember this. The NewGen killer is somewhere in this school. So I gotta think that these are. I don't know. I don't remember the very beginning of the game, so who knows? Whoever wrote this is trying to provoke me. I'll just say yes to everything. I should definitely erase it. Yes. Okay, had it been there the whole time since before I'd enter the classroom? That seems like we've read that before, so we continue along. We're getting all these lovely new tips. There's our first, that, yeah. Doesn't seem like anything new has popped up here.
Oni?
Oh, that's a little new. Kind of. So I think one of the inclusions of the Committee of Zero patch was actually, like, these secondary, whatever they are.
Oni tte ba?
So yeah, you can actually, like, I don't know what the actual term is. They translated what isn't being thrown into the text box in addition, I guess is what that is.
Oi! Akero!
So because it's new text, that is something we can't skip. So I think we're okay.
Oni!
I think we're all right. I want to say we're okay. I'm hoping we're okay. Here's another delusion.
コーラしかないじゃん。ミルクティーとか用意しといてよ。
I don't think this is one of the ones that they want us to go neutral on. So we will just continue along either way.
知らんがな。
Because they put the I don't know, it's weird. They put like the beginning of a line in their guide. It just says neutral, I felt bad. Like
しょうがないな。
what am I supposed to be looking for here? I don't think there's anything here that is a sign that this is one of the delusions they're talking about. And I think we did do a delusion here in the very beginning. I don't remember, but yeah, it's not letting us skip. Yeah, okay, so yeah, definitely if it is a new line, if it's a new section, then it will hold off. That's good.
美味しかった。やっぱ運動の後の一杯って格別。学校からここまで走ってきたんだ。
I think we're okay, guys. I think we're doing all right.
全部飲んだのか。しかも一気で。
I bought that cola with my own money. So just because you're my sister, you think you can do whatever the hell you want, huh? I see how it is.
しまった。
Nanami looked at the bottle in her hand and turned pale. Oh, good. It looked like she'd finally realized how rude she was being to...
どうしよう。また太っちゃうじゃん。
What? Huh?
お兄のせいだからね。
Why was that face there? I had no idea what she was talking about.
お兄がコーラ好きなせいで、ナナまでコーラ大好きっ子になっちゃったんだから。
人のせいにするなよ。
だってうちの冷蔵庫に入ってるのいっつもコーラだったじゃん。お母さんがお兄のこと甘やかすからだ。知ってる？コーラってカロリーすっごく高いの。だからお兄もあんまり飲みすぎない方がいいよ。今度からミルクティーにすべき。
But milk tea really isn't any healthier than cola. It's got just as many calories, and more importantly, who the hell asked? I'm happy with my diet, thanks. Is that all you came here for? To drink all my cola and then lecture me to stop drinking cola? And there we go. Nice. Remember when everything was so, I don't want to say slice of life, but not as crazy as things soon became. What the fuck? I kind of forgot about that. Ah, good times. Man, Yua really follows us early on. I don't remember that. I really don't. Okay, so that was one of the That had to have been one of the delusion prompts, because this is the second one. Unless the first one, I just didn't realize what was being said, the one with Misame. But yeah, we're also supposed to go neutral on this. We're not supposed to choose good or bad, which I don't believe we've done that. I couldn't take my eyes off her either. It was like I was suffering from sleep paralysis. Suddenly, girl A opened her mouth. She seemed like she was trying to say something, but everything else was so loud, and there was no way I could hear what she was saying. I was completely entranced. All I could do was stare at the movements of her lips. Whose eyes are those eyes? A chill ran down my spine. There was no way she just said that. It must have been my imagination. I sucked at lip reading anyway, so I'd probably just gotten it wrong. I shook my head, trying my hardest to look away from her. Either way, girl A had definitely said something. Whatever it was incredibly creepy, especially considering the two of us had never met before. I needed to stay away from her. Yeah, that did not happen whatsoever. It most definitely did not happen. And in Chapter 2, we get positive delusions. So I think we're good for Chapter 1. There is this, though. Which we could also just go neutral, because I don't know if I did. I don't know what I did for anything, and there are way more delusion prompts than in Chaos Child, so there's no way of easily keeping track. It is what it is. Was she going to ask for one of my Seraton figures? If so, she can fuck. God damn it. If so, she can fuck right off. She had the gall to ask me to part with one of my waifus. Ridiculous, total insanity. There was nothing anyone could say, and there was no price anyone could pay to make me give up one of my Seraton figures. It wasn't fucking happening. If you want one so bad, go buy one yourself. Wow, this is actually, not necessarily foreshadowing, but comparing this to the end of the game where he actually told her, like, hey, it's all yours. What a contrast. While I was yelling at her in my mind, or head, Yua suddenly had a huge fall, landing flat on her rear. She rubbed her butt while on the verge of tears. Yua was pretty interesting of a character, I have to admit. Very reserved, but also determined. We understand her goal. I think it was kind of fucked up what she did in the beginning. Again, I feel like communication is such a huge thing, and unfortunately, we just didn't get a lot of that from Yua. And also, the perspective with Takumi sucked complete doo-doo ass, so I don't know if anything could have really helped out there. Damn, Chapter 1 was fucking long. There's a lot that happened in Chapter 1. Are we still in Chapter 1? I need to see if we're still in Chapter 1. If we're not, I may have fucked up. Where's page 2? Yeah, okay, we're still in Chapter 1. I was gonna say. Alright, let's continue on here. I just couldn't put my finger on it. I definitely felt like I'd seen them before, but I just couldn't remember where. Was my memory really that bad? I'd always been confident in my memorization skills, and they never failed to help me score well on my tests. I was pretty smart after all. So why were they failing me now? And at such an important time, or at least what felt like one. Where had I seen them before? I felt that if I took a closer look at the Garo Froggies, maybe then I'd remember. As for what would happen next, though, I didn't know. But I just wanted to stop feeling so hopelessly lost, so I almost subconsciously extended my hand and reached for the bundle of Garo Froggies. But we know why she stopped us. Suddenly, Yua slapped my hand away. Huh? What just happened? I was completely dumbfounded. Yua looked away from me and then awkwardly started to get up off the bench. But as she did, her hand hit the 3 Garo Froggies that were hanging from her bag. And almost as if in slow motion, her bag slowly fell off the bench and crashed to the ground. The bag was unzipped, so all of her notebooks and textbooks spilled out onto the ground. Okay, so I think I don't think we had a delusion there. I think it was more of a different choice of action, maybe? I don't know. Okay, now we're in chapter 2. I saw that shit. I saw what that was. It was the transition to chapter 2, which unfortunately is not slow. That shit happens fast. So we are now in chapter 2. We have 2 delusions that we need to jump into. Both we need to choose positive. We have something that ends in looked at me and something that starts at hey Nightheart. I don't think this is either one of those, because I'm not seeing that here. But since this chapter requires just all positive, we could probably just go all positive here, I think. I don't know what we chose in the beginning again, but whatever. It didn't take long for me to be called into the examination room. I'd expected to be waiting there for quite a while, but I guess I was wrong. Why had there been so many people in the lobby then? Maybe they were being paid to sit there just to make it look busy. It was a different examination room than the one from 4 years ago, but when I stepped inside, I was welcomed with a face I remembered dearly.
Yeah, Nishijo-kun.
I don't remember him having a sprite, but cool. Dr. Takashina rose to his feet with a familiar smile and then reached his hand out to me. Realizing he was searching for a handshake, I hurriedly replicated. Excuse me.
また君に会えて嬉しいよ。いや、嬉しいというのは変かな。君にしてみれば、またここに来るというのは辛いことなわけだからね。
Despite it being 4 years since we'd last seen each other, he was incredibly friendly. My slight nervousness that I'd been struggling with was eased in seconds.
それで、今日はどうしたんだい?
He gestured for me to sit down, so I did. Likely due to all the tension melting away, I told him everything about what had happened to me, and what might happen to me in the future. I stumbled over my words many times, probably because I wasn't used to talking so much, but Dr. Takashina didn't rush me. He listened to me intently with a serious look on his face, while offering occasional interjections to make sure I knew he was following. Of course, I also told him everything about Yua and the demon girl. I considered that doing so might be dangerous, but right now he was the only person I could rely on. I remember, yeah. He referenced Rimi as the demon girl. After hearing everything I had to say, Dr. Takashina pondered for a moment and then began to speak.
君は正常だよ。何の問題もない。
本当ですか?
もちろん。
Those were the words I'd wanted to hear more than anything. I had dragged myself to the hospital for the sole purpose of hearing them. I was scared that he'd tell me that there was something wrong with me, and I had no idea what I would have done if he had. But getting checked out by Dr. Takashina had been the right choice after all.
むしろ、おかしいのはその楠木さんという女性だね。西条くんの話だけで判断するのは難しいが、おそらくその女性は精神的な障害を患っているだろう。今後、君に危険を及ぼすような行動に出る可能性がある。すぐに警察に通報しよう。
The police? True, that was probably the safest option. He was right. There had to be something wrong with Yua. She was batshit insane. The thought of her stalking me again sent shivers down my spine.
もちろん、僕も責任を持って君を保護するつもりだ。
Looking at me with a powerful, reassuring gaze, Dr. Takashina clapped his hand on my shoulder encouragingly. He even handed me his business card, complete with his phone number.
何か問題が起きたらいつでも連絡をくれて構わないよ。
Okay, but I don't think we have a cell phone at this stage.
24時間。
So even if this wasn't a delusion, I think we're still fucked. Or the feeling of being fucked would remain.
当たり前だよ。僕は君の主治医なんだから。
I was on the verge of tears. I was truly grateful to be under his care from the bottom of my heart. Doctors as good as him were hard to find nowadays.
悪魔女のことについても通報した方が良さそうだね。西条くん、君の見たその女がニュージェネの真犯人で間違いないよ。
Okay, we're
これ
getting
は
ahead
も
of
のす
ourselves
ごい
here.
目撃証言だ。
Dr. Takashina seemed somewhat excited, but you couldn't tell from his tone. As always, he spoke calmly.
事件は西条くんのおかげで解決だ。君は渋谷のヒーローだよ。
Yeah, we're getting
僕は
really
この
ahead
瞬
here.
間に立ち会えて実に光栄に思う。
I was a hero? Huh. This wasn't ESO. There was no way someone like me could be a hero. No way in hell. But when I imagined it, my face just about broke into a grin. Middle school girls, high school girls, college girls, MILFs, all of them would be screaming my name and how much they love me. Oh, they definitely scream your name later on and how much they hate you. I'd be renowned all over the world as one of the most charismatic people to ever live. Being a TV celebrity sounded cool and all, but I didn't want to appear in front of people, so I'd create a startup company instead. Then I'd become a hugely charismatic boss making the big bucks. I'd be surrounded by a harem of beautiful secretaries serving my every need. And of course, I'd trip all their flags to make them go crazy over me. I'd have a high-rise apartment in Roppongi and hire a bunch of cute maids. It'd be like my own personal maid cafe. Of course, I'd be indulging in the endlessly passionate nightly services. Just kidding, just kidding.
まさに勝ち組。
That was a fun delusion, actually. That took a really wacky turn. I abruptly came to my senses only to find myself sitting on a sofa in the lobby. Unable to grasp what was going on, I frantically looked around the room. Beside me was a hunched-over old lady. Her eyes were covered in wrinkles, so I couldn't tell whether she was asleep or awake. I took a look at the clock above the reception desk and saw that I'd been waiting in the lobby for a full hour. Had that all been just a dream? I hadn't slept last night, so had I dozed off while waiting? How glorious it would have been if that dream was actually real. Talk about disappointing. Now maybe it's for the best, you know? In the end, I found myself waiting for another 2 hours before my name was finally called. When I entered the examination room, it almost felt like the same events I'd seen in that dream were happening again. Dr. Takashina even appeared almost exactly like he had in the dream. It was probably just that he'd barely changed since the last time I saw him 4 years ago. But this time he didn't rise from his seat, nor did he offer to shake my hand.
今日はどうしました？
And unlike the dream, he didn't seem especially happy to see me again.
西条です。
ん？ああ、これはご丁寧に。高階です。はじめまして。
All right. Now we're back. We're back on the old grind. And now we have another delusion.
タッキー、外出嫌いなのに病院来るなんてすごい。
Okay, is this one of them? I don't think so. I'm going to assume no as well. It's hard to tell. But we can choose positive on this one. Well, why not?
帰らなくてもいいよ。
どういうこと？
迎えに来たから。
An incredibly realistic whisper reached my ear. Oh yeah, I remember the negative delusion here. We took a nap or whatever. Well, that's actually the event that happened, and then Rimi came in and killed us. So I chose negative in the beginning. I felt almost like someone was poking my cheek. I slowly opened my eyes. That is not Rimi.
おはよ。
That is somebody I was not expecting to see. What the fuck is going on? Man, we missed out on some content here, boys. Beside the bed stood Seraton pre-transformation. What the fuck? Amanogawa Sera version. Goddamn. And she certainly wasn't at 1/8 scale. She was life-size, and she was moving smoothly. With a gulp, I sat up and then reached out to try and poke Seraton's breasts. We win at life. They were squishy, voluptuous. She's no figure. She's the real deal. Seraton has joined the realm of 3D.
のんのん、ここは二次元だよ。
Wait, it is? Even though they're so squishy?
二次元的にプニプニなんさ。
I didn't get what she meant, but as long as they were squishy, it wasn't like anything else mattered. I realized I'd touched her breasts out of sheer surprise, and I rapidly grew embarrassed. The life-size Seraton was insanely cute, so moe I could die. And most important of all, she was real. Thanks to that, the bashfulness that came from me touching her breasts and the fear of her potentially hating me for it had become much stronger.
ごめん、セイラタン。
タッキーならいいよ。
本当？
他の人にはこんなことされるのは嫌だけどさ、特に進むとか、あいつに胸触られたら金棒で月までぶっ飛ばしちゃってる。静かに。声出すと看護師さんたちに見つかっちゃうっしょ。
Oh yeah, she's so nice. Seraton must have been being mindful of the world outside the curtain. Without making a sound, she then took off her shoes, climbed onto the bed, and then on top of me. Almost saying something out loud again, I hurriedly covered my mouth. Seraton was straddling me. Her bare panties underneath her skirt were pressing against my crotch. This was bad. My Johnson was about to go berserk. Seraton drew her face close to mine. A sweet aroma filtered into my nose, so that was how Seraton smelled.
ねえねえ、タッキー。タッキーも二次元になっちゃうべきだよ。
Hell yeah. What's that supposed to mean?
タッキーはまだ三次元なんさ。だから、私が二次元にしてあげる。いいっしょ？
Okay. Can you really do that?
できるよ。それに、すっごく気持ちいいよ。
I could hear the sound of nurses hurriedly walking about, as well as the voices of doctors examining other patients. We were in a place separated only by a single curtain. If that curtain were open, we'd get found out for sure. That heart-pounding thought, combined with the taboo nature of doing something like this in a hospital, I was getting lightheaded. And to think I was committing such obscene acts with my number one waifu. So this is what bliss is. All other thoughts had been pushed out of my mind, and so in response to everything Seraton said, I nodded.
そうこなくっちゃ。
Yay, we're gonna become
そんな
2D, let's go!
タッキーが好き。
Then Seraton firmly pressed her lips against mine. Alright. She was so soft. Was this the softness of 2D? Was it more soft than the real thing? This sudden borderline H scene turned my thoughts into pure spaghetti. I had no idea what the hell I should be doing. Then in the face of my bewilderment, Seraton pushed her tongue in... Hold on, Seraton pushed her tongue between my lips, there we go, encroaching upon my mouth. So this is how one becomes 2D. Interesting. It felt so good, I started to feel dizzy. To think a kiss would feel this amazing. I wanted her seductive swirling tongue to violate my mouth forever. Fucking H-scene dialogue, man. It's so fucking stupid. My arms wrapped around her waist. She was very thin. Well, since she was 2D and all. Flat as a board and yet squishy and voluptuous at the same time. Wasn't this basically the same thing as kissing paper, though? But it felt so incredibly good that I didn't care. Seraton was Terra sexy? Jesus Christ. Seraton sucked in my tongue? It was too much. It felt like I was going to die. Jesus Christ. It was starting to get painful now. Seraton's suction was frighteningly strong. That's the power of 2D, actually. I tried pulling my tongue back, but I couldn't. She just sucked it in even more. She's like an alien. She was pulling on it hard, so hard that it felt like it might rip off. And it wasn't just my tongue. The inside of my throat felt hot. My eyes felt like they were going to pop out of their sockets. I couldn't breathe, my chest hurt. The inside of my stomach churned and churned, turning into a pulpy, soppy mess. I was being sucked in. Everything inside my body, my organs, my flesh, my bones, They were all being sucked in by serotonin. I guess this really is how one becomes 2D. I could feel my pounding heart rising up from my throat, the thick blood vessels tearing off one by one. It was an impossible sensation. It was incomprehensibly painful, and yet it felt even more pleasurable. My entire body had become an erogenous zone. Yes, my entire body. Not just the outside, but the inside of my throat, my heart, my blood vessels, my lungs, my intestines. Having serotonin violate the inside of my body, suck it all in, and devour it whole. It made me so happy, and that happiness and the sheer ecstasy I was feeling, it made me feel faint. I'm gonna die. It feels so good that I'm gonna die. Ew. Ugh. After everything inside my body had been sucked out, Seroton pulled her lips away satisfied. Her mouth was dripping with a mix of blood and drool.
タッキーのすごく美味しかった。
She gave a bewitching smile. I didn't have the energy to respond. She had taken everything I had. It was the first time I'd ever experienced such overwhelming pleasure. I was in a total haze. Fog enshrouded my consciousness, and my thoughts were a blur.
ほら、タッキー、自分の体見てみて。タッキーもこれで二次元の住人だよ。
It feels permanent after all that crazy shit. Although I was very unsteady, I tried to get off the bed and stand up. My body had become thin just like Seroton's. It was kind of hard to walk around. My body felt limp and I could hardly stand. I fell to my hands and knees, hitting the floor without a sound. Seroton, I can't get up. Give me a hand here. Her voice came from above the bed.
二次元へようこそ。
Wow. Okay. I sprang up only to find myself on the bed like before. My heart was pounding like crazy. Somehow the negative delusion made more fucking sense in a way. Just getting murdered. My heart was still inside my chest where it should be. I touched every part of my body. It wasn't paper thin. I was still 3D. I couldn't see Seroton anywhere. As it should be.
夢か。
But was that a good thing or a bad thing? I let out a sigh. That scene was just like the one in the doujin I'd bought from Circle Puroporo. In other words, I'd had a delusion using it as a basis. Why hadn't I noticed that in my dream? Well, I knew that it was a dream because I hadn't noticed, but I couldn't help thinking that regardless.
西條さん。
A voice called to me from the other side of the curtain. The curtain quickly opened and the nurse from before, Hazuki-san, popped her head inside the room. Yep, time for reality to hit again.
おはようございます。
I bowed my head silently, keeping my eyes low.
結局3時間ぐっすりでしたね。
Huh. Had I really slept for 3 whole hours? Yep. I'd been so lost in my dream that I had completely lost all sense of time. Then again, I was pretty exhausted.
少しうなされていたみたいですけど、大丈夫？
Naturally, I couldn't mention my borderline wet dream straight to her face. Admittedly, to my maxed out libido stat would be pretty embarrassing.
でも、無遊病の症状は結局出ませんでしたよ。
Hazuki-san's reassuring voice conveyed that to me. Yeah, there actually was, there wasn't anything in terms of, multiple personality disorder or anything like that, or sleepwalking. Alright, so I'm gonna just check all of these. I don't think it really matters. Is there, a significance to checking these, or is it just for funsies? Because I actually don't know. I actually kind of took this serious in the first go-around, but I don't know if it means anything. And that Nozomi mark at the bottom right, I saw that shit. I saw that. Very sus indeed. Alright, is this anything new? I don't think it is. Nope. Just lovely sound effects and more skipping. Onto the next delusion, wherever the fuck it is. Oh yeah, you know what? I kind of remember this delusion. This is when we truly met Ayase. Okay, so this was the first delusion. Okay, I think the guide is set up correctly, so hopefully no more confusions and confusing moments. God damn. and determining which delusions I need to be aware of for positive, negative, or just neutral. And I guess all others, we can just do whatever the fuck we want. However, we will end the episode here. I think we made okay progress. We have a lot to do. Like I said, long road ahead of us, but I think once we actually go through the game again, practically, to get this alternative ending, skipping through the next few times isn't going to be as bad to get to the other routes. I think we'll be okay. It's just, we kind of have to get the stepping stones in place so we're good to go going forward. I think. I don't know. But, well, my dogs are starting to get upset, so, yep, maybe this is a perfect moment to actually stop. So thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz, and if you guys have any tips for this whole, speaking of tips, if you have any tips for this whole process here, let me know. I, again, don't know about... Oh, hey, we got an achievement. Gigalomaniac. Wonder what that's supposed to mean. Is it because we got all the tips? There's no way. Wait. No. See, there's still some. Maybe we got, like, a bulk of them? Hold on, I'm curious. What achievement did I just get? Delusion synchro rate 100%. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Whatever. See, my dog is so upset because even I don't know what's going on. All right, yep, thank you guys. Thank you all again. Thank you guys for watching this episode. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz. If you guys have any tips on, you know, how I should go about finding all these endings, you know, just leave a comment or whatever. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.